I used to go for an extended period of time. Dude, I used to pray to eat dinner at home every single day with my wife. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of us take that for granted.
yes, eating dinner every single day at home with my wife. That was my prayer for like 3 years.
So when we're going to Toronto, and I'm used to peeing every 5 minutes because that's what I've been doing. I pee every 5 minutes, assuming, right? And now on our way to Toronto, I have to stop every 5 minutes to pee.
The fact that you have already realized that, your brain, that subconscious we're talking about,
Yeah.
is going to remind you of your wife.
Yes. Yes.
Do you see the importance of why, my friend?
Yes.
If you are lucky to realize that you have gone off track, the subconscious will actually prick you.
If you're a dad, you're a working professional, you work long hours, you pay bills, you have a family, a wife, kids, you're trying to navigate the modern life, you're trying to understand how to navigate this economy, how to raise a family for yourself, how to build the life that you desire for yourself and your family. Welcome. This is the podcast for you. This is the second episode of the Lazy Entrepreneur Podcast. This is your space. Here, we keep things real. We talk like men. We talk like friends. We talk like boys. We go into topics that most guys don't want to talk about. We keep it real. We are real. We are just ordinary guys who are just hanging out, having a conversation. So if this is like you, you're welcome. This is your space. Today, I have one of my very good friends with me, a friend I call brother. He's originally from Rwanda, but he's been in Canada for the past 17 years. So, of course, he's more Canadian than Rwandan, if I can say that.
No.
Agreeably. He's my friend. This guy is a real guy like all of us. We go way back. I met this guy at a very at a crossroad, when I was at the crossroad in my life. So he's had a very great impact in my life in a lot of ways. And I'm so excited that we are all going to be learning from him and with him today. His name is Patrick Isingizwe. He's not a 9-to-5er like myself. He's an entrepreneur. He's managing a growing business, a growing family. He's a husband and a father to 2 amazing kids, and maybe more on the way. Who knows?
That's not my decision. That's not my decision, brother. That's not my decision.
I am excited to say welcome to you, my brother. Welcome, Patrick. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be an amazing ride. And
it's a pleasure being here, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this. So let's get to know you a little bit. Like I said initially, this is the Lazy Entrepreneur Podcast, right? This is where we take things back, we chill, we relax, we talk about real stuff. We give insights as to what our lives look like, and most times, most things that guys like us don't really want to talk about, we dive into those type of topics. So with that in mind, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself? Who is Patrick and what do you do?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for having me here. I'm glad to be part of this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
it's all my pleasure.
I think you have said it all. I am Patrick. I am Rwandan, Canadian. And I'm a husband. And I'm a father, and I'm just a regular guy. I think that's really who I am.
Yeah. So other than being a father and a husband and a friend, you are an entrepreneur. What makes you an entrepreneur? What do you do?
You mean as
business? What do you do for business? What puts food on the table?
Okay, I own a transportation company, and I do some other stuff, but so you said what makes me an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
I have a boss somewhere, but at least most of the things I do for myself. So I work for myself. I create my own jobs. Basically, that's what I do.
You create your own jobs.
Yes.
So that means you get to decide your income and your outcomes?
Not really. I don't decide my income, and I cannot control the outcomes. But for the outcome parts, like I try to basically choose what to do and what not to do. But what comes out of it, I have no control over that.
Over. Nobody ever does have
Yeah.
that full control.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the for being an entrepreneur in this space, especially with the tariffs and all the economic uncertainties that we all tend to experience nowadays? What do you how would you say you've managed? I know your business is a growing business. You've done very good for yourself in that space. It's a growing business. You have people who are looking up to you, who their family depends on you,
Yes.
being able to provide their paychecks at the end of the month. And then there is all these uncertainties that we are experiencing right now in the economy, right? How have you managed to stay afloat, both as a business and as somebody who is who's a lot of families are dependent on? How have you been managed? How have you managed to keep everything afloat through these economic uncertainties?
That's hard.
Okay.
It's not easy, especially in a changing world like we are in right now. Tariffs come today, they change tomorrow. Like we are very, very affected by that.
Yeah.
But like I said, there is things we don't control. So what do you do when you can't control those situations? You just focus on what you can control. So what keeps me afloat is really, I think, relationships I have built in the past in the business, and a little bit of luck, honestly. Honestly, yeah. So relationships. When you depend on other people, the number one thing you really have to focus on is relationships, because those relationships are the one who will actually help you in the turbulence like we are in today. So I think that's all I can say.
Yeah, that is a very, very great insight. Relationships. And I think for everything that I have read around success and creating wealth or building a life, one of the things that I have found is that it is really the people that you have around you.
Yes. Yes.
Right? It is really the people you have around you. And it is really the relationships, like you said, right? Because I think I was reading something or listening to somebody one day, and it says that it is really that the thing that you're looking for, somebody else already has it. And until they open that door to you, you just might not get it.
Yes, that's actually the truth. If you look around and if you think of anything that you want, anything that you need, is either owned or controlled by someone else. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Think of anything.
Yeah. Somebody's been there before. Somebody's done it.
Not only been there. Anything you really want is either owned or controlled by somebody else.
Yeah.
So you need to build relationships and you need to know how to negotiate.
Yeah.
Because if I need the coffee, if I come here and I tell you, give me a coffee, you might give it to me, even though you don't know me. But the tone that I will use or the way I present myself to you will actually make you give me that coffee or refuse to give it to me. You see what I mean?
Yeah. So everything is a negotiation.
Relationship first.
Yeah.
Relationship first.
Okay.
And then negotiate.
Yeah. So for you to build relationships, you need to be able to bring something to the table, if I should use that word.
Of course.
In relationships.
Negotiation is you. I bring something on the table. I basically give you a reason to give me the outcome of
whatever I'm seeking.
Exactly.
So
I have to give you reasons. It's not like I'm gonna grab it from you. If I wanted that watch, I have to tell you, basically to convince you to give me that watch.
So that means you have to be offering me a value that is greater than the watch that you want from
It
me.
might not even be a value.
Okay.
Most of these things, people spend money on things that don't have value.
Sometimes, yes.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not about value. It's about convincing somebody. And I said, a friend of mine usually says, if you can't convince, confuse.
Yeah.
So sometimes I may even confuse you, but if you're confused enough,
you actually in line with what you just said, you read the prince. You actually introduced me to the prince, and the prince did say something which I don't know if it's the right thing to say right now, but in that line of confusing, which is not really the way we do business, but it's something that has been said in philosophy. He did say that if a man seeks to deceive, he would always find those who are willing to be deceived.
Exactly.
Right? So should you seek to confuse, you would always find people to confuse. But then it's a house on cards if you go confusing people.
Exactly. It doesn't last. That's why I said, if you remember, relationships
first.
Because to even have a chance to negotiate, you need to have that relationship.
You need to be able to get a seat at the table.
Exactly. You have to get that ticket that gets you in the door where you're going to negotiate. So relationships. I focus so much on relationships.
So from a business perspective, I get into business today. I am just getting into the business world, and I go to somebody who I feel is going to help me get to the next step to where I'm trying to get to. And I'm a green bag, right? I'm just getting started. I haven't done this stuff before. What would you say would be my how do I convince you to do business with me if I'm a green bag? I'm just new in this stuff. I don't really have any value to give to you. I don't have any pedigree. I don't have any anything to look back and say this is my track record, right? How do I make myself someone that you want to listen to at least? You don't have a relationship with me.
Well, before I answer that question, let me make this big disclaimer.
Disclaimer, yes.
I am not an advisor in any form of shape. I am not I'm a financial advisor. I'm not a business advisor. I'm just a random guy. And whatever I'm going to say, it's just my opinion.
Your opinion, absolutely.
If I say something, take it as it's like I'm going to give you a fish. If you're going to eat fish, if I give you fish, I don't tell you what to eat and what not to eat. So you choose bones aside and the flesh aside. Okay? So, coming back to your question, it's not a matter of a track record. It's not a matter of who are you going to do business with and who are you. No. It's a matter of knowing what you want first. And then when you know what you want, tell yourself the truth. Be honest to yourself. Why do you need that? Start with the why. Before you even start going out looking for partners or people to do business with, what do you want? And why do you want that? Once you answer yourself those two questions, everything else will come. Because once you know what you really want and why you want it, if you really want it that bad, you will know which door to knock on and who to talk to.
Okay. I like the idea of starting with why.
Okay.
Right? Because, you introduced me to Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I read that book. Listen, if you haven't read it, if you can, grab a copy of Start With Why by Simon Sinek. It is an amazing book. It opened up a lot of doors to me in terms of not financial doors, but psychological doors, right? It broke down a lot of my own limiting beliefs when I read that book and helped me build new foundation of thinking and starting with why, right? A lot of sometimes we actually start with why and we start to build something and we think we know our why. But somewhere along the line, we oftentimes tend to fall out of that why. We tend to forget the why, so to say. Because again, especially when we are starting something new, you're starting with why, and you get to hit those roadblocks that is associated with growth, right? Growth has a lot of friction. You're going to meet a lot of friction because you're trying to go against your core beliefs. You're trying to go against who you've already been, right? There's a lot of friction that comes with growth. And sometimes that why tends to slip, right? It doesn't sleep, but
not necessarily.
We tend to lose focus of the why.
Yes, lose focus. Okay?
Yes, we tend to lose focus of the why. And so, again, we're not being professionals. We're just being guys who are having a conversation. How do you ever get to a point where you tend to lose focus of your why, and what has been your guiding principle to bring you back on track?
That's hard to answer, because let's go back to what you want.
Yeah.
Before even the why. So, if you are hungry, really, really hungry, number one thing you will want is to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You are not eating because somebody, like, how do I say? You're not eating for leisure.
You're eating because you're hungry.
You're eating because
you need to survive.
Exactly. You're eating because if you don't eat, you're going to die. So now you want that food. So if you know you want food, it's really easy to answer why you need that food. It's very easy. There is nothing there is no obstacle that will make you lose focus on your why in that sense. Right now, Celestine, if I block your nose and mouth, you can't breathe. I put $1 million in front of you, and I give you a choice to take $1 million or to breathe. What will you choose?
Of course, you choose to breathe.
You get.
I get what you're saying.
You get where I'm going?
Yes, I understand. Yes, so, absolutely.
If you lose focus on your why, it means you were not honest yourself at the start.
You did not solidify your why.
No, it's not about solidification of anything.
Okay.
You lied to yourself.
Somewhere.
No, everywhere.
Yeah.
You were not honest to yourself from the get-go. People these days say, I need money. How much? I need money. What is money? Because if there is no number, that money doesn't exist. Right? So how much do you want? Why? And to determine the why, okay? You need actually to ask yourself why at least 7 times. Why do I need this coffee? Why do I need to go to work? Why do I need this? Why do I need that? Why? If you ask yourself 7 times why, there is no reason. And there is no obstacle. Like, there is nothing basically that will interrupt you, that will grab your attention from the goal.
Absolutely. So I, since beginning of this year, I have been listening a lot to Tony Robbins and one of his partners, Dean Graziosi. And he actually, you know Dean Graziosi?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So Dean Graziosi, he was the first person I listened to that went into the 7 steps of why, right? Asking yourself why 7 times. And what I found, it is a very deeply emotional journey.
Yes.
Right?
Because what it does, it digs into your like into your it
Into
digs
your core
too
programming.
deep. Exactly. It digs too deep into your core programming, and sometimes you even start to realize things you did not know you wanted.
So one of the things I realized, if you don't mind me adding this, one of the things
It's
I
okay.
realized doing that is that we oftentimes, when you do that, when you ask that yourself why 7 times, we often find that um, our main driving force is not what we thought it was.
Yes,
What we are actually looking for is not what we thought it was.
exactly.
Most times we all start off thinking, oh, I need more money. But then you begin to ask yourself, why do I need more money?
How much more? The first
How
thing
much money do I really
is
need?
how much
How
more
much
do I
do I
really
need?
need?
Okay, how much do I need? You give yourself a number. This is how much I need. Why do
Right.
I need this amount of money?
Exactly.
You give yourself a reason why you want it. You ask yourself, why do I want that? You give yourself that reason and you keep going. By the time you ask yourself why 7 times, you realize completely that what you're looking for might not even be money.
Exactly. Did you see that? So now, once you realize that thing you really need,
Absolutely. This is what I think. Again, guys, we are just guys having a chit chat, having our conversations. We are not professionals in any way. These are our own opinions from resources we've consumed over time and experiences we've gotten over time. Yeah, that is deep. As to understanding your why and making sure that you. So for me, going back to reading Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I did say that it helped me build new foundation of beliefs, right? Because now you have a reason
yes,
for anything that you do. You have a reason why you're doing it. And once you have a strong enough reason, like you said, you are almost unstoppable. The only person that stops you is you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. The next thing, once you know your why, the next thing you need to know, I think, is to really start controlling yourself. Because sometimes a lot of people fail, or let me not say fail. We don't get to our destinations or to our goals because we actually destroyed ourselves along the way.
When we say destroy ourselves along the way, you want to expatiate on that?
What I mean by that is, I'll give you an example. We say let's drive to Toronto, right? We have asked ourselves why we're going to Toronto 7 times. Now we have that reason to really take us to Toronto. Okay? But by the time we get midway, I decided to be distracted by something else. And then I make a quick stop. Okay? So even though I still remember that why, I know I have to go to Toronto. But that unplanned stop is actually going to bring unplanned consequences. It may be negative, it may be positive, we don't know. But remember, whatever took us to Toronto, my friend, Earth turns. What is taking you to Toronto might not be waiting. Okay? So if you decide yourself to make a quick stop and do unplanned things and be distracted by stuff, you are destroying yourself. You are basically putting yourself further from your goal, from where you wanted to go. So you started knowing very well your why. I know I might sound contradictory here, right? Because I said once you know your why, nothing can actually make you lose focus.
Except you.
Yes, except you. So, yes, you know your why. And nothing will make you lose the focus. But there is one thing we have to remember. You have to go fast.
Sense of urgency.
Fast as in, don't, how do I say it? Like, you need to get into action. You need to get into action right away. And once you start going toward what you want, stop doing unplanned things. Unless that unplanned thing is actually an obstacle to your goal. Otherwise, do not deviate.
So you said something. You talked about stopping along the way. Okay. We know our why. We've asked ourselves why 7 times. We believe we have a solid grounding as to why we are doing what we are doing and why we want what we want. Right? We've done all of that. But the human psyche, we don't have a switch to say, oh, I know why I want this. I have grown into my core and I realize what I really want. I'm going to go after it. Assuming I'm 35 years old, assuming I'm 40 years old, assuming I'm 45 years old, that is 35 years or 30 years, however number of years that I have lived in this life with a different programming, right? That has been built in over time, that has made me who I am. And the fact that I came to this one realization does not entirely wipe out that programming that I have. I still need to work my way to rechanging and reframing my mind.
Okay.
Right? So in terms of me getting distracted along the way, most times I think that, or rather, what do you think to people getting distracted based on their beliefs, right? We tend to fall back to what we are comfortable with. We tend to fall back to the norms that we are accustomed to, even though we know our why. And oftentimes that's these distractions that we come into, right? That's why we stop. So when we're going to Toronto, and I'm used to peeing every 5 minutes because that's what I've been doing. I pee every 5 minutes, assuming, right? And now on our way to Toronto, I have to stop every 5 minutes to pee.
No, that's a process. It's not.
But then it's okay. So maybe that's a wrong example that I used there. What I'm trying to say is,
let's say you pass by a drive-through somewhere to grab a coffee.
Yeah.
Right. That it's okay. That's not a distraction.
Okay. So distractions is.
So we need
distractions is we are going to Toronto from Woodstock, Ontario. For people who don't know the
and
way,
then all of a sudden a friend of yours calls you in
from Kitchener and we stop over to Kitchener to go do something else.
That's distraction.
That's distraction. Okay. So let's assume that all my life, whenever I travel past that route, I have always gone off road and go do something else in Kitchener, right? This is subconscious. I do this every time, right? And on this time, even though I know my why, even though I am clear on I'm going to Toronto, no other place, I want to go to Toronto. But subconsciously, because I don't know if I know you do, you study the subconscious mind, and we know that most times our subconscious mind have more control than we think it does.
Yes, but
so my question to you is, when I inevitably get off track, how do I? So most times we do go off track, and it might take me a longer time to come back, because I know my why and I know where I'm trying to go. So it will keep hitting on me until I come back. I guess my question then is, how do I shorten that pivot? How do I say, oh, I'm going to Kitchener. I don't need to go to Kitchener. I'm getting back on the highway and I'm going to where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's go back before I answer that question. Let's go back to the question actually that made us come all this far.
Yes.
Someone a green bag person who wants to go to do business.
Yeah.
That's when I said, know what you want and know why you want it. So, number one, if you want to do business, everybody can do business. Anybody can do business. Anybody can be an entrepreneur. You just have to understand that it's a lifestyle. Being an entrepreneur is a lifestyle. And being an entrepreneur is not easy. And being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you're rich. It does not guarantee any wealth. Okay?
Yeah.
A lot of entrepreneurs are not rich. They just live that lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. So how do you come back, or how do you shorten? That's the second question.
Yeah.
How do you shorten
The pivot.
the pivot?
Yeah.
Is the lifestyle. Remind yourself, number one, a lot of people pivot and they don't know they have pivoted.
Yep.
So if you are lucky enough to realize that, oh, I have actually deviated, that's the first stage.
That's a huge win.
It's a huge win. Okay?
Yeah.
You have already realized that,
Yep.
oh, actually,
I'm off track.
I'm off track. The fact that you have already realized that, your brain, that subconscious we're talking about,
Yeah.
is going to remind you of your why.
Yes. Yes.
Do you see the importance of why, my friend?
Yes.
If you are lucky
Mm-hmm.
to realize that you have gone off track, the subconscious will actually prick you.
That is a very beautiful insight. When you veer off track and you remember that you're off track, your subconscious would always prick you to remind you of your why.
Yes.
That is a beautiful insight.
Yes.
That is a very, very beautiful insight.
Yes.
Let's hold up a little bit. We've gone too deep. We've gone into being an entrepreneur. We've talked about understanding our why and how we are able to align ourselves to whatever it is we are looking for, right? We've talked a little bit about money today. We've talked about a lot of things, but this is for dads, right? This is the Lazy Entrepreneur podcast. We go beyond the professional side of things. We also talk about balancing mental load. We talk about fatherhood. We talk about marriage. So let's look a bit beyond behind the hood. Let's pull up the hood a little bit and talk about more stuff that people don't really want to talk about. My question to you then is, from what we've talked about so far, it seems like being a business owner, an entrepreneur, comes with a lot of mental load.
Yes.
Right? Because you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the families that you're responsible for, you're thinking about your customers, you're thinking about your business partners and all of that. There's a lot of things we think about. So how do you manage this mental load? How do you stay connected to your partner, to your wife and your kids while managing being an entrepreneur? How do you balance these things out?
Well, it's easy. Very easy. You just have to know what you put in priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. It comes back to the why again. So if you have chosen to start a family, excuse me, I think it should be everyone's priority, really. Be it an entrepreneur, be it
A 9-to-5er?
9-to-5er, be it jobless. If you have a family, your family is your priority.
Yeah.
And your family needs to eat. So remember, I told you being an entrepreneur, it's a lifestyle. So if you're an entrepreneur, your family will also go into that lifestyle. Of course, communication is a key. Yeah. The balance will come, to be honest. The balance will come. Once you know what you put in priority, balance comes. It's not easy. It's not easy, not at all. But it comes. So, for example, I must find time for my kids. I must. But I also must find time to run what will feed them. I must find time for my wife. And she understands the lifestyle we have chosen. Because I have chosen that lifestyle with her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she needs to understand. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes people think, oh, I'm so tired of this job. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. My friend, if you want to be an entrepreneur because you're tired at your job that you do from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, that's a wrong reason. If you're really tired of your job and you want to be you want to be an entrepreneur because you're tired, I pity you.
Okay.
So if you don't like your job, just change it. But don't go into entrepreneurship because you're tired. Unless you're tired of maybe doing the same thing over and over and over again. Or unless you're tired of working for someone else. And honestly speaking, there is nothing like balance when you're starting. There's no balance when you're starting. I was so lucky. I started business or I started working for myself when we had no kids. As a matter of fact, I started when I was single. Right? But the phase of building a system that will feed you and your family, it doesn't take 1 year. It doesn't take 2 years. It doesn't take 3 years. It's a continuous battle. But the first 3 years, there's no balance. No balance. There is no balance. So your partner, your wife, your husband, or even your kids. Kids are mine are little. They can't understand anything. But in our case, I'm so lucky my wife understands me.
But then you have to
So it's not to entrepreneurship.
To an entrepreneur, yeah. But then you have to. It's just being able to align with your partner.
Yes.
To align with your partner. So that's
so
one of the things.
When you guys are aligned, the balance is there. Because sometimes you may even have fun, like family activities, while working.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do go to meetings. I take my family. I will leave them
somewhere else
in a hotel, go do my things, come back.
That was going to be actually my next question for you, because I don't think that is all gloomy being an entrepreneur. I believe there are perks to it. Other than you managing your own business, there is a perk to that lifestyle. There has to be some perks to it.
Yes.
So for this is for 9-to-5ers who probably dream of one day being entrepreneurs. And we've talked about the gloom part of it. We've talked about the struggles, right? We've talked about the challenges. What would it be? What was your driving force? I think I should ask. Why did you think 9-to-5 is not for me? I have to go into this crazy world where there are a lot of uncertainties, but I'm in charge nonetheless. Why did you decide to toe the entrepreneurial route?
Wow. I think I told you the story, right?
Yes.
2013, I worked somewhere, and within 2 hours, I went to the washroom a couple times. Within a period of 2 hours. I'm a kind of guy, if I decide I'm going to do something, I'm committing to it. Like if I go to work, I will not go to the restroom to use my phone. No, I'm working. If I go to the restroom, it's because
you have to.
I have to go there. Now I come back from the restroom. My supervisor stops me before I even got to my cubicle. Patrick, you've been going to the washroom so many times, and every time you're going, you're spending more than 10 minutes. And if you do that 4 times a day, it's an hour. If you do that twice a week, It's 2 hours. That means you are being paid for time you did not work for. Honestly speaking, something came in my mind, and I looked her in the eyes. I told her, this will never happen again. Maybe to her, she thought
You are apologizing
I
for
am
leaving
apologizing.
so.
I said, Madame Cadieux, ça se fera plus, in French. It will never happen again. And then I went to my cubicle, logged out, my badge on the desk, collected a few personal stuff from the desk, and she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, I already told you. This will never happen again. This will never happen again. So what came in my mind when she was telling me that? I'm like, now someone is actually controlling how many times I am going to the bathroom. What she did was wrong. I could have even went to HR to complain. Thank God I did not do that. Thank God I did not do that. Okay. Now, so I was about to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to get married. I go in my car. I'm still furious. Like, my head is about to explode. Very angry. Very frustrated. I was living probably 5 minutes away from home. I'm sorry, I was living maybe 5 minutes away from work. And then I go to my apartment. Once I opened the door,
it dawned on you.
I was like, what did I just do? I just quit. Like, I could hear a sound whispering, a voice whispering, I quit. I went to bed, closed my eyes for like 5 minutes. I couldn't, I felt like slapping myself. What did I just do? I called my wife.
Fiance at the time.
So I was like, babe, Mazamawara. Like, I just did.
Quit my job.
No. Mazamawara is like, I just did something undoable. Like,
I just did something stupid.
And she was like, what did you do? What did you do? I'm like, you won't believe I did it. I can't even believe myself. I just quit my job. She's like, what? She's like, what? Why did you do that? You know, the invitations for the wedding already printed out. You have told parents. How do you think we're going to manage it? At that time, we had actually paid the venue already. And she's like, what do you think we're going to do? I'm like, it's okay. I'll find a way. So since that day, I have decided that I will never I will never submit a resume again. Mm. No one will ever again tell me how many minutes my break has to be or my lunch. No one.
So yeah, that is amazing. That is inspiring. It's just like Tony Robbins would always say that breakthrough usually takes a moment.
Yes.
Right.
And I think sometimes you need anger.
Mm. Anger is a good thing when you use it right.
When you use it right. Anger. So before that work, I had done some business. I had done import and export. But I didn't have a why. when I was doing that. I was doing it part-time. I was young too, right?
Yeah. So the anger fueled your why.
Anger, I would say anger helped me narrow what I wanted in my life, narrow it down from a vast choices or wants or whatever, narrowing to pinpoint exactly what I
What you
wanted.
really want.
By that time, I really had no why apart from that anger. Anger ignited my journey,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ignited it.
The search.
The search. Like, yes, it ignited it.
Yeah.
And then what keeps me going today is my why. Because I might have quit.
Yeah.
And it's possible, right?
Yeah.
There is people who started business who are no longer in business,
Of course.
who quit.
Of course.
Like I said, it's not, it's a struggle. It's hard. So now my wife, fiance then, I told her, yes, I quit my job 2 days after. But don't worry, everything is going to go the way we planned.
Mindset.
The wedding happened, and within 4 months, I made money that I had never made in 2 years.
Absolutely.
Within 4 months. And then I started saying, oh, it's possible.
Mindset.
It's possible. So I went and did the wedding. And yeah, here I am. So.
And one thing I realized you did from your story is that you actually burnt your ships.
Yes.
It's
yes,
like the...
Yes. I burnt my ship. They even called me and I said no. They called me back. The HR called me. They sent letters. I said no, I quit. I burnt my boat.
Yes, it's like the what's the story? I forgot the story. The actual story about burning your ship.
Of the general who was burning the ship. I think it's a Mongolian general.
It's a Mongolian. I think it was the Spanish explorers that actually took over Mexico. The Aztec Empire. The empire. The captain had to burn his ship because they went from Cuba to Mexico. I think it was. He had to burn his ships because even his own men were planning a rebellion against him because they felt he was fraternizing more and they know his intentions was to actually take over the empire by himself without reporting to his superiors. Right. So he had to burn their ship so that they have no other options but to fight. Because if they do not fight, they are going to die there.
I had heard a different version of that story.
So this is from...
It goes in the same.
Yeah, I forgot the book I read. I think it's a book I finished reading recently that actually gave me that analogy. I forgot which one.
Yeah, so like basically what I heard about the burning ship is a general, I think a Mongolian general who was actually burning ships, telling his troop, guys, we have no way going back home.
Yeah.
We have to fight and conquer and live here.
I think it's actually in this not Statute Y, Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I think he made reference to that because it's a recent book I'm reading that tells this story the way I said it right now. But what that means is, for the sake of those who are listening to us, what that really means is when your back is against the wall, you will find a way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That is where the resilience of the human spirit comes into play.
Yes.
But again, we are not saying go and quit your 9 to 5.
I did not say that. That's why when we started, I said, big disclaimer, I'm not an advisor.
We're not saying go and quit your 9 to 5. But what we've realized is that when your back is against the wall, the way would present itself. Yes. There is always a way.
Yeah. There is million ways.
Yeah.
It's just that even right now, there is million ways of doing things.
Yeah.
But because of that abundance of choice.
Yeah.
we don't know what to choose.
Mm-hmm.
So when your back is against the wall, when you have no other choice, when you have no plan B,
Yeah.
you choose whatever is right there.
Right.
Even if you may have a million choices, you don't have time. You just take the choice that actually gives you a relief. And then you build everything little by little. So the most important thing is not to burn your ship.
It's to have a solid why. So
Or a drive, call it a
a
drive.
drive, a hunger,
Yes, because I started with no why, honestly.
but you had the hunger,
Yes, I was
and you
just
had the
hungry.
drive,
I was
and you
just
had the
hungry.
anger,
Yes, yes,
good anger.
yes. I was so frustrated and so angry, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most important decision I have ever made in my 20s.
It is amazing to hear that you made that decision in your 20s, but I think we deviated a little bit from where the question was going to go. The question was really going to be the perks of being an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
What do you think, other than you get to make more money than you make on a 9 to 5?
It's not a guarantee.
It's not a guarantee, but over time you might get to make more money than you make on a 9 to 5.
Not really.
Might.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Might.
Yes.
Right. Other than the monetary aspect of it, right? And then you have the burden you have to endure being an entrepreneur. What would you say would be the perks, the lifestyle perks of being an entrepreneur? Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Freedom in a sense, well, I don't like to say freedom because freedom doesn't exist really. As long as you have something to lose, you're not free, right? So, but it gives you a chance to do things on your own terms. To wake up on a different, like, I can wake up at 8 a.m. I can wake up 9 a.m. if I want, right? But that will not be every day. I may not work today, but then work 20 hours tomorrow. So like that's what I was saying.
You have the flexibility.
Yes, exactly. Yes, flexibility, not freedom.
Yeah.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the right word. Yes, you're flexible in a way.
You have more work-life balance, if you want to look at it that way.
No,
Really?
No, the balance is not there. Balance does not exist.
Okay.
Balance does not exist.
Okay.
You're just flexible. I can drink a beer 10 a.m. Monday morning if I want to. I can be doing barbecue on Tuesday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. The flexibility.
So it's not balance because
it's not balance. It's not freedom. It's just flexibility.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's the biggest perk of the entrepreneurial lifestyle.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
That is awesome. Okay, we've been on this for close to an hour right now, but let's talk about wins. We've talked about the perk of being an entrepreneur, which is the flexibility that you do get. But what would be some wins you've had in your life recently, that little wins, the very little ones that you're kind of proud about, but you feel most people overlook? In the sense that, I mean, for me recently, I had something I really wanted to do that I know I needed to get done, but I didn't want to do it because I know that it is going to challenge a different part of my life, right? It is something I know that it is important for me to do, but it is going to take me out of my comfort zone.
So you basically feared getting out of...
I feared getting out of my comfort zone. Eventually, I got myself to do it this past week, right? I finally broke myself out of that comfort zone and actually got to do this stuff. After I did it, I looked back and I said, maybe not out of my comfort zone, but there have been times where I have challenged myself to do some things. And after I've gotten those things done, I tend to belittle them, right? Because it's done, it's done. So you don't tend to see the magnitude of what you've actually done. So we tend to overlook some of those things that we do. So we do. So my question to you is, what are those small things that you have done recently that you're proud of, that you think that people oftentimes overlook when they do it?
That's that's deep. So what will I say now? Little wins. For me, really, what I think is little wins. To call it a win already, it's no longer little. For me, if I have to celebrate something, it's not going to be little. For example, it's an example. It's an example. If I manage to be able to take my daughter to school every morning, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Right? I can celebrate that. But it's not little. For some people, because they have it every day,
they no longer appreciate it.
Yes.
We're on.
So remember I told you to the early days of me working for myself, I used to go for an extended period of time. Dude, I used to pray to eat dinner at home every single day with my wife. Okay?
Yeah. And a lot of us take that for granted.
Yes. Eating dinner every single day at home with my wife. That was my prayer for like 3 years. So people take that for granted because they have it.
Yeah.
To me, it's not little. I celebrate it. I even tell my wife, I'm like, hey, let's eat because we prayed for this.
Yeah.
Sometime when we are eating, honestly, dinner time, most of the time I remember. So there is also this other thing that people don't really, I think it's overlooked. Is it overlooked or underlooked? Overlooked. When you realize your unanswered prayers were actually a blessing.
I like that. Okay.
I celebrate that so much. I basically thank God for unanswered prayers.
Because most times those unanswered prayers is the blessing.
Exactly. It just like we may call it unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's really the best answer you have ever gotten. Just try to think in your life.
Yeah. So
when you thought you really wanted something, that bad, and it didn't come. See, how do you feel? How did you feel when you actually realized that the thing you wanted was not
what you really wanted?
Exactly.
Right? So
when something like that happens to me, I'm like, yes,
I like that. That's a very good way to look at it.
And that happens more often than you can think.
That's a very good way to look at it. Because I pride myself as somebody who's very religious, and you know that. I'm a lover of God. I'm a lover of His Son.
Remember, we have decided not to.
No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But I wanted to just say that, for me personally, I believe that whatever you truly, truly need comes to you. Right? But sometimes when what we ask for does not come, when what we ask for does not come, there might be a blessing in that.
I disagree with you.
Okay.
What did you say again?
Whatever you truly need will come to you.
No.
Truly need.
No. That's not how life works. I don't know what kind of universe you live in.
Okay.
But in the universe where I live, things don't come just like that.
It doesn't come just like that. Okay. It will not just come out of nowhere.
The fact that you really, truly need it.
Yeah, but you have to put in the effort for it.
Yeah, but that does not mean it can.
No, but okay, so let's
It doesn't mean it came to you.
no, it would not just fall out of heaven and come to you.
Exactly.
Maybe
So-
that's the wrong way to say
So
it.
what do you mean by what it comes?
Let me rephrase that then. I
Okay,
guess
please do.
I guess I should
Because
say
that can be a bit misleading.
yeah, I guess I should say what you truly need
Okay.
and you work for it,
Mhm.
you get it.
Yes. What you truly need, you easily find a way to
Get it. Thank you. So it's like the analogy of we talking about burning your ships and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, the burning of your ship, I read it from 33 Strategies of War, Robert Greene.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's true.
That was where I got that from.
Yeah. So, what you truly need, you easily find a way
To get it. Yes.
But, sir,
It doesn't come to you.
It doesn't come to
you. You would not sit down and then it falls on your head. The days of God sending down manna is gone.
That's the problem I have with, I'm sorry to say, but with my fellow African, most of us. Somebody will be looking for a job and go spend the whole week in a church.
I'm sorry for laughing about this one, but I mean it is funny. But let's not go there. Let's not get started.
I think on that one we should.
Okay.
Maybe
Go
it's
ahead.
going to be a different podcast.
Yes, that will be a very long podcast on its own.
If you need a job, why spend 7 days
in somewhere praying
in church praying for a job
when you can learn a new skill?
Exactly.
Update your resume.
Exactly.
Go out and look for the job.
Go out and look for the job. Go out and look for the freaking job.
I am a lover of God, like I said. I'm a religious person,
God
but
too. I'm not religious.
Yeah,
I'm not religious. I believe in God. God exists, and I told you that. And
yes.
you know that.
Yes.
But it's so frustrating to see an educated person with degrees
praying Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday. You are asking a pastor to pray for you to get a job. And guess what? It is true, you may get a job through church.
Yeah.
But among all the people you sit with on during service, have you ever asked the person next to you, what do you do for a living? You may get a job through the church.
Yes, absolutely.
If you went there for the right reasons.
Yes.
Most of us Africans, I always see videos trending online of young people, basically the African youth, being manipulated stupidly. It's very inane.
Yeah, I agree with
Somebody is giving you water, okay? If you take a sip of this coffee, for example, take a sip, you fall down, and you call that a miracle? Maybe there is an acid in it. What kind of miracle is falling down?
I understand. It's funny when we look at it that way because
no, it's not funny.
It is funny.
It is not funny.
Okay, yes, it is not funny in the ethical sense of things, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Or another topic that will probably, I don't know. Let's probably don't.
Let's leave this religion alone. But what I was trying to say,
the other thing was not going to be religion, but
what I was trying to say,
young guys in Africa are so consumed by sports.
Oh, it's not the sports though; it's the sports betting.
It doesn't matter. So that's me.
Yeah.
Okay? That's me. That's me.
Yeah.
Sorry for your viewers, but that's me. There is only three coins. I mean, three sides. I was gonna say two sides of the coin in the sport, but no, it's three sides. Okay?
Yeah.
If you are not an investor in that sport, if you're not a player, and if you are not you're not there to work. Okay? If you don't work in anything, sport, basically if you're not employed
If you're not making money out of
in
it.
that industry, if you have not invested in it,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not playing, you should not spend more than 1 hour on the weekend
Watching sports.
watching sports.
Yeah.
That's like,
Guys, what do you guys think? Yeah, I know this is a very, very polarizing topic. I understand a lot of us are very sports fanatics. I love sports myself.
sport is okay.
Let me know your thoughts on this one.
Sport is okay. It's just that we are really complaining about situations that we put ourselves in.
Yeah. But before we go too far, let us bring it back to what we are trying to say,
Okay.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's bring it back to what we're trying to say.
I'm sorry to deviate.
No, it's good. Sometimes deviations are okay because I want to hear your opinions on that one, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that a lot of young Africans spend too much time on sports? Do you think that spending my weekend watching sports, do you think that that's at any detriment to me or my goals or my intentions? I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comment sections, please. I want to know your thoughts on that one because I like that topic. I think it's something we can explore further some other time.
Don't talk about it too much because I need to speak. Like I may need to speak more.
Sure. So I'm moving. So what I was trying to say about unanswered prayers, I was trying to say about unanswered prayers, and I think that from my own life experiences, right, I think that unanswered prayers are big blessings. Because for what I was trying to say about whatever I've always truly needed comes to me, it's when things does not come to me, there is usually a reason for it. And in hindsight, whenever I look back, I see that God not answering my prayers at that point was for my own benefit.
But the thing about it is you don't realize that.
No, that's what I said. You have to look at it in hindsight.
Until there is that revelation.
Yeah. That's why you have to look at it in hindsight, yes. Right? Because when your prayers are not answered, you're frustrated.
Yes.
Right? You want something, you prayed for it, it's not coming, you're like, what's going on? And you probably worked really hard for it. So, in a nutshell, gratitude is a superpower. I think it's really overlooked, but it is a superpower.
Yes.
It is a superpower.
I agree with you on that.
So we've spent a lot of time here today, my friend, and I thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me.
No, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Before I let you go, one more question for you, one for the road. You are an entrepreneur, right? Yes. For a lot of us who are 9-to-5ers, we do have that aspiration that one day we are going to, or we do have the aspiration that we are going to have something on the side that allows us to become entrepreneurs ourselves. When you started off, or what would you say to somebody who is starting off, and what was one thing you wish somebody told you when you started off as an entrepreneur?
That's a good question, and I'll keep it very brief.
Yes.
You do not have to have everything you need to get started. If you already have the idea of starting, start. Start yesterday. Everything else, you will figure it out once you have already started. Have you ever seen somebody building a house? If a house is $100,000, you don't need to have a pile of $100,000 right away to start. You just need a very few things. You need a plot and have a plan of the house you're going to build. After some time, when the house is already built, they'll say, oh, did you know? Celestine built a 200 million naira house. But you yourself, the builder, the owner, have never seen even 10 million nairas in your account. So start. Once you start, it's going to be a little easier than you think was going to be.
Yeah, because then you're focused everything on building that house and everything counts.
Exactly.
That is a very good way to look at it.
And another thing, one more thing, one more small thing.
Yep.
The grass is not greener on the other side. Just take time to water your own grass. It's going to be greener. So these days, we see people starting something. 3 months later, they don't see the outcome. there is a new idea coming. There is a new idea. There is this, that. So the grass is not greener on the other side. Take time to water your own grass.
Wow.
And one more thing I want to say is good things come to those who go out and make them happen. As simple as that.
Good things come to those who go out and make it happen. I think that's a very beautiful way to come to the end of today's podcast. Thank you so much, Patrick. Thank you. You've given us so much insight. It's been so much fun learning from you and with you. Guys, if you've watched this till this time, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us on this journey. If you haven't already, please follow this page. I'd like to hear your comments in the comment sections. If there are things you think we should talk about in our next episode of this podcast, please drop them in the comment sections. We love to hear from you. This is the second episode of this podcast, and your opinions, your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, that is going to keep our channel going. That's going to keep us growing and getting better in all this stuff. So if you watched it to this time, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I get to see you all later, my friend.